I'm still doing security.
Okay.
Essentially, I'm still doing security.
What year is this, by the way?
This is like, let's say 3 going into 4.
Okay.
3 going into 4, still doing security.
Okay.
You know, getting better as a trader. Not losing every single trade I take.
I love it.
You know, not losing every trade, making some making some moves, getting better, getting more confident in the skills and the work that I've put in myself and just overall in trading. And as we get into kind of like, okay, close to year 4, I'm like, man, I gotta make a move now. You know, my goal has always been to be a full-time trader, to do it for a living, to do it to the way that, hey, this is your career, this is your job. But in trading, you need capital.
Yes.
And I came up at a time where, hey, you don't have these funded companies and all that stuff. So to me, it's like, okay, I had, myself, my capital. I don't have any rich parents, anyone, supporting me or whatever. So I'm like, okay, what do I have access to? Okay, I can work. I can work a lot. I got good work ethic. I don't like working for people, but I can work well for people, right? And I can put in the work. So I was working. My security. I stopped doing security because I'm like, I'm not gonna be a police officer. I started personal training, but one of the skills, I'm still a big guy, so I can still bounce. So, and it's nighttime. You're with the homies, like some of the guys that you met. So over the career, I started. I got like head bouncer at this club. It was a strip club, actually.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Did he get in trouble?
No.
Oh, okay.
No,
okay.
Funny. It's hilarious.
Okay.
Because that's the thing. For me, it's like when I want something, you can't stop me. Nothing can stop me.
You were tunnel vision.
I was tunnel vision. I didn't care. I didn't care because one of the biggest things I realized even bouncing was a lot of guys who spend time, chasing, the opposite sex rather than trying to build themselves up is you're thinking from a sense of lack. Right? But as a man, I've seen guys in your 50s, 60s come in the club and take the 20-year-olds that you can't get in your 20s because they built themselves up. So it wasn't to say like it was a motivating factor for me. It just told me like, oh, I'll be there. It'll be there if I grind the next, 10, 15 years, whatever the case might be, or however how long, I'll still be able to do whatever I want at the end of the day.
Yeah. And
so while I'm there, I'm head bouncer, running pretty much running the spot, making decent money, like at that time, like 10 G's a month, whatever. So it was good. It was cool. I would show up every day with Napoleon Hill outwitting the devil.
You lie.
I swear to God.
Ooh.
I would sit there because you had guys, I'd stand at the door and whatnot. So I had guys like, inside or whatever. So I just sit down when nothing's popping, and I'm just reading. If I didn't pull up with Napoleon, I'll pull up with another book.
But that was the perfect book in the strip club.
Oh, yeah.
Outwitting the Devil? You laser focused, bro.
Yeah.
You laser focused. I love that book.
And the funny thing is, you go there, you're there, and you're looking, and then you realize, like I stand outside and I'm like, wow, like, man, like shout out to strippers, like I have nothing, but when you become desensitized anyways, maybe your first day, your first 2 days is like, yo, this is lit. But after a week, 2 weeks in there, you'd really have to be like, you needed to have nothing going on for you to still be like, whoa, this is super, super exciting. And yeah, that was the case for some people. But for me, I was just focused. So what happened was the general manager at the time took a liking. He had great conversations. I didn't know what he was, what he was into, what he was doing, or like to me, it's like I'm like he's a gentleman. He has a job too, but he was actually stacked. Had a lot of real estate, portfolio and like 20 condos and just he would trade in stocks as well.
Wow.
So, I'll just tell him that, this is what I'm doing. I've been doing it for the last, 4 years. We'll have conversations. But what really happened in going, like, I think my 4th year or going into my 4th year, I was like, I found out I'm having my daughter. My daughter, she's 4 now.
I didn't even ask if you guys have kids. So
yeah.
you just have one?
Yeah,
one?
I'm keeping that one. I'm good with one still.
I just found out I got another one coming.
Oh man, congratulations!
But that's it, bro. That is it, bro. We are done. That is it.
Yeah.
So you got a daughter?
Yeah, I got a daughter. I got a daughter.
Man,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
awesome.
yeah. I got a daughter. So, I'm like, you know what? This is what do you call it? Yeah, found out I'm having a daughter. Okay, everyone's like, well, now you gotta make more money. You gotta go get a safe job. And while this is playing in my head, my passion is like, boy, you gotta fly off the cliff now. It's a weird because it's like, I think to some degree you have to maintain a certain level of delusion in order for you to attain the success that you want. You got to be. I love Conor McGregor, Notorious.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever seen that, but when I see that, I like that because for him to become the person, to win all the UFC, he had to maintain a certain level of. He had nothing going for him, but he was confident.
Yeah.
He was as confident as confidence can be. And to me, that was like, okay, I'm having a kid. I can, now go put myself in a position where I have something safe so I can take care of the people around me, take care of myself. And my brain's like, nah, it's now or never. You gotta do it for her, because why am I gonna be miserable because I didn't live my dreams? And then I'm gonna tell you at a later point in time, live your dreams.
So
live your dreams, because that's
so
what happens. Oh, go do whatever. You can be anything. But I didn't try to be anything. So to me it was just more of like, okay, bam. So I was making very good money at the strip. Doing.
You still living by yourself, right?
Yeah.
You do.
Yeah. So it's like, I'm like, okay, cool. We're doing our thing, making good money. And then I was like, I'm gonna quit now. I'm gonna quit before she comes, or went just slightly after she comes. So I start putting money aside and trading. I'm focusing on my trading, backtesting my strategy, getting better as a trader day in and day out, just putting in the work and having meetings, with a psychologist I was working with at the time. And it was funny. A funny story about this was there was a time I went to the bank because this psychologist was so expensive. I'm not even going to put I'm not going to put his name on. And I went to the bank, and I was so ready. I was so ready to do this. I went to the bank, and I had about $7,000 in it.
Mm-hmm.
That was it. And the lady, I'm like, hey, can you transfer this money to this person, this, this corporation, whatever the case might be. And the lady at the bank looks, I don't know if they're supposed to tell you this, but she wasn't supposed to. She wasn't supposed to say, she's not supposed to make a comment like that.
Mm-hmm.
But she's like, but that's all you have.
Yeah. Wow.
Like, but that's all you have. I'm like, yeah, I know. But can you do the transfer, please? Because to me, it's like I was hungry.
Yeah,
I was
willing bro.
I was willing to do whatever it took, and to make sure I, being the edge in the market, was right. All right, so did that. Now I'm like, okay, put money aside. Now I want to go full-time trading. Wasn't anything crazy. Talking to the guy, and who becomes talking to the guy at the strip club, the general manager, and yeah, I'm gonna quit. And he's like, oh man, it's crazy. And he's like, what are you gonna do? I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go be full-time trading and whatnot. Oh, okay, cool. So one day I show up there, and shows me like a gold trade or like a gold chart. So I'm like, yeah, you should take this trade.
You tell him that?
Yeah, I tell him. I'm like, yeah, take this trade. And he's like, oh, it demo. I thought it was playing, because I know he has a stock portfolio. He's just trying to dabble into trading and like Forex. So, and he's like, it gives him, okay, took the trade. And the trade, in my head, I'm like, it wasn't to me, I didn't think, I wouldn't taken the responsibility for it if I knew that it was real money.
Oh, so you thought he was in demo?
I thought he was in demo,
but he had a real account.
He had a real account. And he gave it to me. Like, yeah, put the trade in. The trade ended up making $20,000. Yeah,
off you just saying, it's good. Yeah,
just
go,
just good. So so I come the next week. I didn't see him for a while. Saw him next week, and he's like, "Oh yeah, that trade, made." I'm like, "Oh yeah, I saw it. Like obviously, I saw. I knew it play out." He's like, "Oh, it made 20 grand. Like 20 grand, like fake or like
Yeah.
not real. Oh, wow." Oh man, good for you.
Yeah.
And to me it was like, yeah, it was just more confident. Like, yeah, I know I got the skill for it,
There you
so
go.
I ain't tripping. And that was just I didn't want anything for it. And then a couple of weeks goes by, I'm getting closer now to having to leaving, and I let him know like, oh, this is the date that I'm going to be leaving. I'm going to be going full time. I had some little money set aside, and I was happy with what I had set aside to do it. And he's like, yo, I got $250,000. I'll give you that. I'm like, listen, man, don't play with me. I'm not with it. I'm not.
You see these muscles?
I'm not with it.
Don't play with me
joke,
right now.
man. Don't joke. I don't even And it's like, I'm serious. I'm serious. I'm like, really? So what I had done in between this period, because I believe as a trader, you are the edge. You have to, trading is a reflection of you. And it has a way of bringing out some of your past, traumatic events that's happened in your life, and it's going to play out. If you want to be right, you're someone who's like, yeah, I'm powerful. Trading is gonna torture you because it's gonna humble you a lot. And I realized a lot of these things, and I'm like, you know what? If I'm gonna be good for myself, for my daughter, I need to take a trip. And I took a trip to the Amazon, to the Amazonian jungle, pretty much right after I quit. Like I was gonna go full time, but back up before that, it was told me we made an agreement. Okay, this is what's gonna happen, and I'm like, well, I'm going to Peru to do. I did, for those of you, it's ayahuasca, right? So I did that. I'm also very Christian, but I believe in the universe, and I don't mind psychedelics. So I was like, okay, you know what? I'm going to Peru to do this, to just make sure I get myself right for the journey that I'm going to go on. To go on, and yeah, he was like, okay, cool. When you come back, he'll be ready. So I had not even a fraction of what he essentially gave me. So, and he was my first business partner who told me essentially what you're saying is like, cars isn't your thing. He said business before Bentleys. Business. Bentley was my dream car. And he's like, business before Bentley. So always make sure you do business first. You get up before you go buy that car. I drive a Cadillac, and it's like, in the trading game, it's like Lambos and, McLarens, those cars are, respected, but I'm whipping my Cadillac, and I'm okay with that.
Absolutely.
I'm all right with that. So it's so he's like, yeah, business before Bentleys, business before Bentleys. So I'm like, okay, cool. Go have my daughter, right? My daughter, and literally the month after she was born, quit. Quit, and everything happened because I took the leap. And the funny thing is, the universe saw how ready I was. I was doing it with or without the opportunity that came. I had made a decision, and I said, this is what I'm going to do, right? Whether I fail, it's okay.
Yeah.
Because I took that leap of faith. I jumped, right? And if I hadn't jumped, if I had said, you know what, I'm going to go, I'm going to stick with a safe job and, do something because now I'm having, my kid, blah, 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 I would be miserable. Right? Definitely miserable. Wouldn't have been, wouldn't be where I am, or wouldn't have got the opportunity because people can feel your energy. People can feel, how bad you want something. And sometimes what I realize is sometimes when people have money, wealthy people, they're looking for people with potential to invest that in.
Always.
Yes. Always. So went to Peru, came back, literally my first 2 months trading full time, I made more than I had made at my job the entire year.
In the first 2 months.
And I made most of it in 1 month.
Wow.
in 1 month, in literally 1 month. So it was just kind of like, you took that leap of faith and the universe rewarded you for it.
Traders, it's your boy Calvin here. Listen, I hope you enjoyed this interview. I hope it empowered you. I hope it motivated you on your trading journey. I just believe that we can make it. We can become consistently profitable traders. But number one, this is what I learned. You got to have one setup. You got to define one setup. And this one setup is the setup that you're looking for every single time you come into the market. All right. Number two, you got to manage risk the right way. 1% risk max is what I recommend. If you do this, each and every time I'm only going to lose this amount. So there's no surprises and you're not overly invested into one particular trade. Number three, you got to be patient. You got to allow that one setup, the criteria of that one setup, you got to allow that to come to you. And once those things come to you, you're checking everything off your checklist, you enter that trade. I just truly believe it's possible for us to be successful in this market, but we got to be patient. We got to have one setup and we got to manage risk the right way. Now, you may be somebody on your journey that says, Calvin, listen, I'm doing all these things, but I don't have much capital, right? I need more capital to make money. Well, then if that's you, maybe you need to look into Forex prop firms. And when we talk about Forex prop firms, check out Blue Guardian. What I love about Blue Guardian is they have no restrictions on their trading. You can hold over the weekend. You can trade during news. And most importantly, y'all, they have this tool called the Guardian Protector. The Guardian Protector is allowing traders like you and I to protect ourselves against ourselves. So when you feel like over leveraging, when you feel like over trading, right? When you feel like adding on more risk, the Guardian Protector allows you, before you even get into a trade, to go into the back office and you can set daily percentage levels or daily dollar amount levels where your account cannot go beneath. And if it does, they will automatically take you out of the trade, which will allow you to be able to live to trade another day and not violate your challenge account using your daily drawdown. So ladies and gentlemen, if you're looking for a prop firm that will give you all of these benefits, plus you get an 85% payout rate once you get funded, and you get paid every 2 weeks. Ladies and gentlemen, check out Blue Guardian. And guess what? Today, we're going to give you 15% off on your next challenge using coupon code NEWTRADER, the number one. That's right. You get 15% off your next challenge using coupon code NEWTRADER, the number one. Ladies and gentlemen, I look forward to running into you at the bank one day, but you cannot meet me there. You got to beat me there. When Calvin pulls up to that bank, you should already be walking out, duffel bag on your shoulder, big smile on your face. And that's my way of saying I believe we all are going to be successful. And before we get out of here, make sure you hit that red subscribe button so you never miss another video, another interview of motivation. Holla at you later. Peace.